What right do I have to impose life on someone else? What right do I have to impose suffering on someone else? What right do I have to impose pleasure on someone else? One of the most important conversations that people should have is the conversation about procreation. What right do I have to bring someone into a world like this? What right do I have? I must be able to ask myself this question. The conversation about antinatalism isn't really about whether the world is good or bad, whether people that are here are happy or not. Even though many internatalists will talk about how messed up the world is. I love talking about how messed up the world is. But really, the conversation about antinatalism is more about what right do I actually have to impose life on someone else. Because people actually do tell themselves that, well, life is good, some people are suffering, but suffering is subjective. So just because you're suffering doesn't mean that we must not have children. No, the conversation isn't about what I'm dealing with. My life might be good, my life might suck. The question is, what right do I have to impose life on someone else? It's not about me. There are internatalists who like to talk about how they are doing in life. They like to talk about what's happening in their lives, especially about things that actually suck. And they have a right to talk about these things. But really, antinatalism is more about the life that's not here. It's about asking ourselves, what right do we have to actually impose life on someone else? Why do I feel the need to create another sentient being? What right do I have to create another sentient being that can suffer, that will have to work, that will have to go through life? Another thing that you must realize before you have children is that life is not short. A lot of people believe that life is short. No. Life is not short at all. Your childhood wasn't short. It felt long to you. Someone else might say, oh, your childhood was short because they are older. But nah, really, it felt long. Yeah. The days felt long. The years felt long. Your teenage years weren't short. Your adult years are not short. And life gets harder as you grow older. So people who say life is short don't know what the heck they're talking about. They're just trying to make people, do the right thing, or to rush people to do things that they think human beings are obligated to do. But really, life isn't short. Life is very long. I've been here for 30 years and I feel like I've been here for infinity. Life isn't short. So what right do I have to burden someone else with existence? When I look at the things that I've been through growing up, I do ask myself, what right do I have to impose this kind of experience that I had on someone else? Will I be doing the right thing by doing that? What happens if they do not like the experience? Wouldn't that mean that I've done the wrong thing? See, the question isn't whether life is good or bad, although many people like to make it about that. If you are not happy, it means you are doing something wrong. If you are not happy, go and see a therapist. It means that there's something wrong with you. If you are not happy, you are not seeing this life the right way. There's something that you are not seeing. There's something that you do not understand. You see, I don't like to talk to people about how good or how bad life is when I'm talking to them about antinatalism, because I know antinatalism isn't really about that. Yeah, life might be good to you. You might actually be having your best life. You might actually be enjoying life. You might actually want to actually live longer. That is 100% true. But the question still remains, what right do you have to impose life on someone else? Because we're talking about a person that has not told you that they want to be brought into this world. That's what you must understand. It's not like they're screaming every day, telling you that please, 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 man, please, I want to be born. I want to be born, please. No one is saying that. You are the one that decides, because of your own selfish reasons, that you want to bring a child into this world. Not because you want to do someone else a favor. You're not reproducing for selfless reasons. You're reproducing because you feel like something is missing, and you feel like your life will be complete. You'll feel whole when you reproduce. You don't even realize that that's just a biological trick. Your own DNA is tricking you. It makes you feel like something is missing so that you will reproduce. But really, what right do you have to create another conscious being? You don't even know what is going on in this world. You have no clue what is going on. You don't even know who you are, what you are. What created you? What happens when you die? You know nothing, but you want to bring another conscious being into a world that you don't even understand. You want to bring another conscious being into a world that you do not control. Into a world where you know you don't have power. Don't you see that that's madness? Each and every person that is conscious, each and every person that is intelligent should ask themselves why they should bring another conscious being here. You don't know what is going on. And you are able to see that there are a lot of people that are really suffering. It's not like you would want to be here if you experienced life the way that some people who have truly suffered have experienced life. You know that there are people who truly suffered in this world, not because they've done something that is wrong, not because they weren't living their lives right, but because they were not as lucky as you are. You know that there's a chance that you bring someone who's not lucky, or you bring someone into this world and you die, and they end up suffering because you're not, here anymore to take care of them, because you don't even control anything in this world. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't even know what happened yesterday. I mean, you only know what happened in your life yesterday, but there might be some people who are planning to kill you, and you don't know that there are people that are planning to kill you, and they've planned to kill you yesterday. They didn't plan to kill you today. That's because there are a lot of things that you do not know that are going on in this world. You don't even know what consciousness is. You don't even understand your own body. When you are sick, you have to rely on other people. You have to rely on other people to tell you what's wrong with you, because you don't even understand what's wrong with you. You don't even understand your own brain. You don't even understand your own mind. But you think you must create another person. You think you have the right to raise another person. Most of you are abusing kids. You're wondering why a lot of young people are offing themselves. It's because they weren't even raised by people who knew what the heck they were doing. Some of y'all believe in religions that make no sense. And you want your children to believe in these religions. You want your children to join your cult. That's abuse, and you do not even see that that's abuse. So my question to you is, what right do you have to create another conscious being? Just because you are here does not mean that you must procreate. You have experienced life from your perspective, and you were also able to see that there are people who do not love this experience. So just because you love this experience doesn't mean that each and every person that will be born here is going to love the experience. And it also doesn't mean that those that do not love the experience are wrong. There are a lot of people who think that those who do not like this experience do not like this experience because they are, crazy, or because they are depressed, or because their brains are not working properly because of a chemical imbalance. No. Each and every person has their own perspective. We cannot view this reality the same way. And what I actually believe is that the more intelligent you become, the harder it will be for you to love this world. Because you're going to start to ask yourself the most important questions. Why are we here? Why do we have to wake up in the morning and go to work? What's that all about? Why should we be having children? Why do we allow other people to control us? Why shouldn't we be free? Why do we always gotta feel the way that we feel? Why do we feel like something is missing? Why are we so limited? Why are we so restricted? Why don't we have free will? Why don't we have freedom? Why don't we have freedom of speech? Why can't we speak our truth? Why are we seeing garbage on TV? Why are the most fucked up celebrities the ones that are actually popular? What's really going on here? Why does it seem as if the people that are in power don't want us to thrive? They don't want us to become the best versions of ourselves. They want us to remain broken, to remain poor, to have nothing, so that they'll be able to control us. Why does it seem as if they don't want us to learn the right things? Why does it seem like they don't want us to know what the truth is? Why does it seem like there are people in this world that actually know what the truth is? Why does it seem like there are people who actually know what's going on? That is why they have power. That's how they were able to gain their power. Why does it seem like there are secret societies in this world? See, once you become intelligent, you start to question everything. You start to see things that people that are not intelligent do not see. A lot of people that are not intelligent don't even see what is going on. You can manipulate them all you want and they will not see that they are being manipulated, because they don't see beyond what you are showing them. They just see what you want them to see because they're not intelligent enough to see the truth. Why is it that the people that are intelligent are being made to look bad in our society? Any person that questions what's going on is supposed to be, called names. You are a bad person. You are evil. You are demonic. You are crazy. You are depressed. If you don't see what's going on and you're just being a human and allowing other people to manipulate you, especially people that are more powerful than you, then you're a good person. And we must all be like you. We must not be questioning anything. We must just play by the rules. You can see that something is wrong. So the question is, what right do I have to actually create a new person that's going to come and live in this world that I live in this world where all this madness exists? Once you ask yourself that question and truly understand that question, I don't think you will think that antinatalists are wrong. You can't think that antinatalists are wrong. You'd rather still decide that you're going to reproduce because you don't care. But you will understand that, nah, man, but the arguments that antinatalists are making are actually right. I cannot be creating new conscious beings without their consent and force them to have this experience that I'm having. And another thing that you must understand is that there's no guarantee that they're going to experience life the way that you've experienced it. Chances are their lives are going to be harder than yours. You don't know how life is going to be in the next 5 years. You don't know how life is going to be next year. Maybe there's going to be another pandemic. You don't know what's going to happen next year. Maybe there's going to be global warming. Anything is possible in this world. You see, this is not the world that you understand, you know? You don't understand this world. You don't understand how things work. People are just walking around doing what they've been programmed to do, but they don't really understand what is going on, even though we pretend as if we know what is going on. I mean, how else are we going to live in a world that we don't understand unless we started to pretend as if we know what is going on? But that isn't helping us. Pretending as if we know what's going on is not helping us. The truth is we have no clue what is going on. So it makes zero sense to be having children in a world that we do not understand, especially if there are a lot of people that are suffering. Especially if there are lots of people that are in hospitals that suffer from real sicknesses. If you are healthy, it does not mean that there ain't people that are actually sick. It's just that when you are healthy, it's not easy to appreciate that, you know. If you have been healthy your whole life, it's not easy for you to appreciate that. It feels like that's how things should always be, like, you know, and I do understand why it feels like that, and that's actually what I wish for you, that you actually remain healthy. But the truth is, there are people that are sick and they haven't done anything wrong. They were taking care of themselves. They were eating right. Maybe you weren't even eating right. There are people who weren't even eating right, who were smoking a lot, drinking a lot, and eating a lot of junk food, and they're still not sick. But there are people who have been eating right, but who are very, very sick, who are suffering from maybe a terminal illness, suffering from cancer. And they don't know what to do. No one is really helping them. We live in a world where when people discover a cure for a terminal illness, these people get killed. This happens for real. You can see that something isn't right. You know, we're supposed to live in fear. We're not supposed to free ourselves. No, there are people who are making sure that we do not get to free ourselves. We must always be suffering, allow other people to control us, and depend on other people for our survival, not depend on ourselves. And that's not going to change. Do you think that humanity is going to stand together and be like, you know what, we have suffered enough. We hate the fact that lots of young people are unemployed. A lot of young people don't know what the heck they should do in this world, and they're supposed to be here because they're being forced to be here. So we are going to change the world as a collective. We are going to let go of everything that does not save us. We're not going to support people that are abusing us, people that are in power that are abusing us. We're going to stop supporting those people. We're going to hold hands as humanity and stand together. Do you think that's going to happen? That's impossible. Because human beings are different. It's not like we are all the same and we're all viewing life the same way. If you decide that you're going to stand for the truth, there will still be some people that are going to be like, that person is crazy. It doesn't matter if you have good intentions. If you decide to manipulate people, there will be some people that you will be able to manipulate. And there will be people that will be like, nah. There will be people that will be able to see through your bullshit. So we can never become one as people. We will always have different opinions. So there will never be a point where we actually change the world and actually make it better. So what right do I have to actually impose life on someone else so that they will experience what's being experienced by sentient beings here? I mean, even if life was good, I still wouldn't have the right to actually impose life on someone else if I cannot get their consent. Even if life was good. But we live in a world that's actually crazy, where there's a lot of shit that's going on that makes no sense. So that makes it worse. That makes me question the sanity of people that are reproducing. I mean, when you try to have a conversation with people that are having children and ask them why they feel they must have children, they don't come up with a good reason. They don't tell you, well, I'm reproducing because I have a feeling that there are people that actually want to come into this world, and if I stop reproducing, then they won't come into this world. I mean, that, even though there wouldn't be any evidence of that, I mean, that would be a reason that actually makes some sense, because that's what you believe. You wouldn't be reproducing for selfish reasons. You will actually be thinking about those people that you believe want to come into this world. But nah, a person will just tell you that I want to have children because I want to find joy. I'm not happy. I want to find fulfillment. I feel empty. I want to start a family. A lot of people that have kids seem happy. I want to be like other people. You see that, nah, something isn't right. All these people that are having children for selfish reasons. I've never heard a person say that they want to have children for a reason that wasn't selfish. Each and every person that has told me they want to have children have given me a selfish reason. So you see that something isn't right. So as a collective, we must ask ourselves what we're really doing. We do live in a horrible world. And that's the truth. We live in a world where people have to fight for their survival. We don't live in a world where people can just be happy and enjoy their lives. We live in a world where each and every sentient being have to fight for their survival. We don't live in a world where we are free. We don't live in a world where we are safe. We live in a world where we have to constantly, try to protect ourselves because we are afraid of suffering. We're afraid of pain. Because we're afraid of dying. Most people are living in fear. Most people are not free. Most people are not themselves. Most people are not free to be themselves. So you can say that something is not right. So when you really think about it, imposing life on someone else really does not make sense. There isn't a world where that would actually make sense. It will make sense to make copies of ourselves if we were able to do that. Like literally make copies of ourselves. If I want to continue to exist, I'll be like, okay, let me make a copy of myself. At least I would have been the one that, chose to do that, to remain here. Or if we were able to transfer our consciousness inside a computer, we will become immortal, which would be the dumbest thing to do. I mean, it's gonna get there. Actually, it's gonna get to a point where humanity is actually able to create simulations that they can enter. But that will be dangerous. I mean, imagine if you get trapped inside a simulation and you can't get out of that simulation and you have to be stuck in that simulation forever. I mean, that can happen. That can happen. There's this other Black Mirror episodes that actually demonstrates that very well, where someone was actually trapped inside a computer. I mean, can you imagine that? That's going to be possible. If we continue to grow technologically at the rate that we're growing, then that's going to be possible. There are a lot of things that we thought were going to be impossible when we first discovered technology, but look at all the things that are possible now. So of course we'll be able to create simulations that will be able to enter. It will even get to a point where they will create prisons. Right? It will get to a point where they will be able to create prisons. So you do something that they don't want you to do, not something that is bad, because there are a lot of things that people get locked up for. Even if these things ain't even bad, you can get locked up for smoking weed. That smoking weed isn't bad. It can just be illegal where you live. So yeah, they can lock you in prison just for, smoking a plant. So imagine if they create a simulation where they'll torture you and when you do something that's fucked up or something that they don't want you to do, they put you inside that simulation and punish you, torture you, wipe out your memory, and you don't even know what's going on, just like what's happening on this planet. We don't know what the fuck is going on. We know that we're suffering. Some of us, I mean, if you're doing good, that's good. But there are a lot of people that are suffering. I know that I've suffered. Now I'm not like really suffering. I feel like I'm at peace, but I'm not happy with what's going on in the world. That's why I'm able to make videos regularly. I'm good. I'm at peace, but I'm not happy with what I'm seeing. So really, can you imagine if in the future they create a simulation where they will have to wipe off your memory before they put you inside that simulation? It will be a world similar to this. You'll be in that world thinking that the things that you are doing make sense. If they say, oh, do this, or they make you believe things that don't make sense about the reality that you'll be experiencing. Make you believe that you must torture other people there inside that simulation. That's the right thing to do. That's going to happen in the future. They're going to have prisons in the future. They are going to have simulations where people are going to, enjoy themselves. But that's still dangerous because things can go wrong. I mean, these simulations will be simulations that would have been created by humans. So this reminds me of this other movie called Vanilla Sky, starring this guy that did Mission Impossible movies. What's his name? Tom Cruise. This movie is called Vanilla Sky. So what happened is that he got into a car accident and got his face disfigured. So he wanted to be frozen. Someone came up with an idea like, yo man, let us put you inside this machine and we'll be able to generate a dream that you want. In the future, when they discover a way to actually fix your face, and then they will wake you up. And they put him inside this machine and they gave him the dreams that he wanted, but something went wrong and his dream turned into a nightmare and he started suffering a lot. He started, like things just stopped going his way. Just like things are not going our way as a collective in this world. We know that, even if as individuals we are happy, but we do know that, something isn't right with the world. I don't think there's a person that feels like this world is great. People just think that we can fix the world. They don't feel like this world is great. They just feel like, you know what, yeah, we might be suffering, but we can fix the world. I saw a video of Jordan Peterson, but this guy is funny, man. Someone sent me a video of Jordan Peterson talking about, do you think that your ancestors were wrong? I mean, your ancestors fought, and they died, they suffered for you to be here. So do you feel like they were wrong? There have been millions of people that lived in the past that kept on reproducing. So were those people wrong? Yes, they were. They were wrong. They were not smart at all. It is possible for many people to be wrong. Because people think that it's not possible for many people to be wrong. I mean, were those people asking themselves the most important questions, or they were just doing what they were told to do? They didn't even have time to actually think deeply about their reality. They were just doing what they believed they must be doing. Many people are just doing what they feel they must be doing now. And because we don't constantly find ourselves fighting, we actually do have time to think. Even if you have a job, you still do have time to think. If you work in an office, you have a lot of time to think. Even when you're typing some documents, you can still think. So we have time to actually question our reality, to actually ask ourselves, what's really going on? And we have access to a lot of information. So yes, we are smarter than those that came before us. Our ancestors were dumb as fuck. That's why I'm surprised that there are people who still want to allow old rules to be brought into our time to actually govern us. Can you imagine being governed by the laws that were created 500 years ago by people who knew nothing about this reality? People who thought that the sun was God, the moon was God, trees were supposed to be worshipped. You know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense. We're supposed to question our reality. We are conscious now. We understand a lot of things. We understand what happened in the past. I mean, we might not understand everything that happened in the past, but there are a lot of things that we understand about our past. We know that there have been wars in the past. Lots of people have been abused in the past. A lot of people have suffered in the past. So you can say, oh, they've suffered so that you'll enjoy. Like, no, nobody's enjoying. When you think about it, there are very few people that get to enjoy. But a lot of people suffer in this world. So they weren't even suffering so that we'll come into this world and actually enjoy. They were suffering because they were dealing with what they were dealing with at that time. They weren't suffering for the next generation. Human beings don't be thinking about the next generation, you know that. But the next generation is going to inherit our problems. It means that if we fuck up, which we are most likely to do, then they will have to deal with that. And they will be forced to continue to fuck up because they won't have enough time to actually make the right decisions. You see, so they will be forced to be selfish. Because they can't just be thinking, well, let's just do the right thing. Because doing the right thing won't really allow them to actually enjoy their lives. That's the problem. You think, oh, if you do the right thing, then you'll get to enjoy the experience. But nah, you don't get to enjoy the experience because a lot of things have been ruined. So you need to actually fix a lot of things, and you won't even get to enjoy the fruits of your labor. It's only the next generation that will be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. So you'd rather be selfish so that you will at least enjoy your life, because that's what you want at the end of the day. One of the biggest reasons why you'll be reproducing is because you want to enjoy your life. You would feel like a sense of emptiness. So you feel like, you know what, if I fill that void, and then maybe I'll get to enjoy my life. And then you get to have a child and start hating that child. I mean, there are lots of parents that actually hate their children. There are lots of parents that actually hate their children. The truth is that you cannot force a person to be exactly as you want them to be. That just won't work. You might try your best to force a person to be the way that you want them to be, but they will be themselves. Because they will be living in a different time. So even if they do get brainwashed, but they'll be living in a different time, so they won't be exactly like you. And imagine if they actually just become more of who they are. We live in a world where we're not even supposed to be who we are. So if you have a child and that child actually become themselves, that's going to be a problem. You're going to hate them, resent them for being themselves, for being who they're supposed to be. So you must realize that something isn't right, We do live in a world that's full of cruelty, in a world that's full of poverty, full of illnesses. We just have to wake up as humanity. Thank you all, guys.